So you clicked on this video. That means you're looking for some great tips to start off the school year. Look no further. I have some amazing tips. I'm actually a nursing senior major. What the Okay, that just like ruined all credibility. Ignore I said that. I am a senior nursing major and wow, I can't believe I just did that. You should probably just click off this video right now. I was literally sweating Google Calendar because bad, don't do that. Just let it be. You're gonna go see your crusty ass boyfriend. What are you doing? Anyways, yeah, this is my last year of college. I'm getting my BSN, Bachelor's in Nursing. I've been doing pretty well in college. I have some pretty good tips if you want to both survive school and also do well. So to start off this video, let's go around the room and introduce ourselves. Hi, my name is Jarissa. Hi, Jarissa. If you want to introduce yourself too, go write a little cool fact about yourself in the comment section because I read every single comment. Okay, so I think my first really big tip, I think the most important thing for me in college was making friends in my classes. And yes, like making friends outside of your classes, like people you can hang out with, that's amazing too. But specifically people in your classes who share the similar struggle, but also like be there with you when you don't know what to do or when you need someone to study with. Friends are one of the most important things. Like I cannot stress this enough. And it's so funny because I was making these dividers, like the ones I just showed during class, and I showed it to my friend who was sitting next to me and she goes, says the girl who literally sits in the back of the class and doesn't talk to anyone. Okay, yes, you're right. You don't have to make a lot of friends. You don't have to talk to every single person in the class. Just literally make 1, 2, or 3. I have like a little group of friends who we all like text in our group chat, sit in a little circle and like are going through the same wavelength because we are all in the same classes. My friends have literally saved me from either missing exam, missing a project, because if you're not paying attention, at least one person in your group chat will, right? And if they're not paying attention, maybe you will. It's like a mutual agreement that, hey, like we're all in this together, so let's all help each other out. Last year, we had to take an exam at home. It was on this thing called like proctorio. The exam was set for like some random Friday at 2 o'clock when none of us had class. I remember so vividly, I was like doing my little thing, probably like watching YouTube or TikTok when I get a text message from my friend and she goes, did you sign on to the test yet? And I look at the time, I'm like, oh crap. The time was like 1:55 and the test started at 2 and you were supposed to sign it at like, I don't know, 1:45. If you don't know what proctorio is, it's like an extension that you have to download onto your like Google Chrome. I didn't even do that yet. I was literally sweating, and had she not texted me that, I probably would have missed the exam, which is bad. Don't do that. So that's what I'm saying. And then along with that, you get a group of friends who like you can go out to lunch with, go out to like cafe dates and study with. It's so cute. It's so beneficial for you, and it also helps you make friends, you know? Sometimes making friends is really hard in college compared to high school, because I know for a lot of people in college, you're not with the same people that you are like growing up, because in high school, you go to elementary school together, you go to middle school together, and then you end up in high school together. So college, you're starting really fresh. So what I did my freshman year was I joined something called FASO, which is basically like the Filipino club at my college, and that opened up a really big gateway for me to make friends because everyone was there for the same reason. Everyone wanted to meet new people. So that's what I did freshman year. I eventually kind of like stopped going a little bit. Joining a club, especially freshman year, is a vibe. Like honestly, like you're not gonna get the super hard classes freshman year, so I would advise you to do that. I've made some of like my bestest friends through going to that club outside of classes. I mean, in pertaining to like making friends in your classes, honestly just talk to the person next to you. Like actually, I'm gonna give you this advice, but I would not follow it myself because I feel like not a lot of people know this, especially because I'm on YouTube. I feel like I have like the worst social anxiety. Talking to people in certain situations makes me really nervous. I also hate like presenting in front of the class. Like on the first day of school, when the teacher like makes you go around the room and like you introduce yourself, I'm in the back shaking. Like whenever I like go to say my name, you'll literally hear my voice vibrating. But I would just start conversation by like asking a question about homework, or like asking a question about, oh, like when is the exam, or like, oh, did you hear what the teacher said? Like that's insane. Like why is she assigning so much homework? Give yourself something to like bond over, so that way it's easier to like approach them, and also like, you don't seem like weird for like trying to start a conversation. But yeah, now I have a really cool friend group who is honestly super reliable because they definitely pay attention in class more than I do. So we'll text in the group chat random shit and it's so funny. I'll just put some up for examples. You can read through them. I would say my next tip would probably be getting and solidifying a really good planning system, because I'm going to give you a little secret, and this is specifically for nursing school because obviously I can't say it for anything else, but I genuinely think you don't have to be smart to go to nursing school. I think the only thing you really need is time management, because once you have time management like down packed, then you're set. You're literally set for all your classes, you're set for everything. Yeah, there's a lot of things you have to memorize and a lot of things you have to get done, but if you can effectively plan this around your schedule and find time to study and then find enough time to make sure that you're preparing for these exams and preparing for all the things you need to do, you'll be fine. I can guarantee you, like genuinely. For everyone else who's not in nursing school, like planning even then is still a very major part about being successful, in my opinion. I don't know like how people just like winging their life and like not planning anything. When you plan, you make steps for yourself in order to be more successful. This is where I tell you that you're gonna want to get a productivity app. I'm the kind of person who will get bored of my productivity app and then try to search for a new one, like maybe once a month. So I've tried every single productivity app. I'm not even joking. Sunsama, Todoist, Evernote, Asana, the Moleskine one. I'm also the type of person who can't stick to things for like very long. It's bad. I do it with everything, including hobbies. But the more I did this, the more I realized the main thing I always went back to is Google Calendar and my notebook. Once you find the productivity app that works for you, just stick to it, honestly. And I think simpler is better. Normally what I do something called brain dump and intentionally place. I just made that name up right now. You're correct. Because I wanted a name for exactly what I do, which is I brain dump and I intentionally place. Yes. The brain dumping part is I'll take everything I need to do and write it down. I do this for both planning and also studying. So for example, like I'll write down, okay, I need to study for pharmacology. I need to go to the grocery store. I need to edit my video. I need to, I don't know, pick up my brother from school. Okay, let's say those are like the things that I need to get done. I'll put it all into one to-do list, but then after that, I'll go further and I'll intentionally place. I'll put everything into their own little category. So I can just like mainly focus on what I need to do today. But then I also have a plan for when I'm gonna do the other things, right? So usually how I categorize it is either I will categorize it by the day of the week, or I'll just say today, tomorrow, whatever. When you like take this giant to-do list, condense it down to categories where it's more manageable to look at, it helps so much. Now you separated it based on like the categories you want to set for yourself. Focus on just today. This like kind of relates to another tip, which is to know when to look at just one day and also know when to look at things in the bigger picture. And I say this because when you look at just one singular day, it helps you just remain focused and like not get overwhelmed with all the things you need to do at once, but rather focusing it on one step at a time. This helps a lot, but then also knowing that like when you look at the big picture, this one exam is not going to kill me, right? And then also if I happen to fail a class, look at the bigger picture again. Like, sure, you fail this one class and maybe you like might have to take an extra year. So be it. It's fine. You're gonna live. Like, obviously you don't want to take an extra year to do nursing school, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's fine. You're gonna be fine. And you're just gonna go through it. It just is what it is. And just take things and understand like sometimes things are the way they are. Just let it be. So yeah, going back to what I was saying about compartmentalizing, my brain is the type of brain that needs to categorize things. So once you do that, if you're feeling really manic, you can also time block, which is compartmentalizing, but making each like category an hour. You could also do it by the minute, which I think is a little too much. Yeah, that's where Google Calendar comes in, where I have my whole entire life on. Literally my whole entire life. I do not go one day without looking at Google Calendar because Google Calendar is where I'll manually input like the events, mainly the times that I cannot change. For example, I'll have my classes on there, I'll have doctor's appointments, I'll have when I plan to hang out with someone. Those are things that don't really change. All of the other tasks that you have written down on your notebook are the things that you kind of are going to try to make time for around your events. So for example, today I said I need to study for an exam, right? But today I also have class and I have work at the end of the day. Maybe I'll like try to study after work, or maybe like I'll wake up early so that way I can work out. Little stuff like that where I like take my day and the event and I try to like find time to do my little tasks, okay? I use it on both my laptop and my phone. It integrates into your life so well. Google Calendar is so important to me that it's literally one of the widgets on my little, what do you call this? Like dashboard? Do you see that? I don't know if you see it. And then going off of this point, using a reward system every single time you complete a task helps a lot too. And I don't mean a reward as in like, okay, go out to the mall and spend a ton of money because you deserve it. No, girl, you're broke. You gotta be reasonable, okay? The biggest way I reward myself, it seems so minuscule, but take a highlighter and I highlight the things that I finish. Once I finish it, that will be my rush. It will make me feel satisfied enough to the point where like I want to actually complete everything else. And maybe your reward will be like making yourself a little matcha drink. Using stickers. That's such a great way to reward yourself. I love stickers. If you like put a little sticker at the top of your assignment or like, so I just realized maybe that's a little bit hard. I don't get any like paper assignments anymore. Everything's on the computer. Now we're kind of getting into the studying tips. So for the studying tips, I do the exact same thing I do for planning. So say I need to study for pharmacology, right? Every single PowerPoint that the professor's uploaded, I'll list every single one of them, and then one by one, that's what I'll study. I had like 10 PowerPoints that I needed to go through before the first exam, and I separated it by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I would suggest not to cram, but I'm gonna be honest, I do it all the time. If you're gonna cram, the one advice I give to you is still get sleep the night before the exam. All of my professors say this, and I know you don't want to hear it. I don't want to say it. I can't believe I'm saying it, but actually get sleep before the day of your test. And I'm telling you this because your brain can only take so much information, and at one point, there's just no point in studying anymore. If you don't know it, you don't know it. What are you gonna do? Do better next time. Sleep is genuinely so important. I did not realize it until maybe like last year. I was 17 once too, okay? I was the type of person who was just like, okay, sleep is not important. I'm young. I can stay up all night, pull up all-nighters, and not sleep. No. You need at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. And you might be saying like, oh, I don't have enough time. Yeah, you do. You're gonna go see your crusty ass boyfriend instead of going to sleep. Like, there's no reason to do that, okay? Literally set your priorities straight, ma'am. Sleep is not one of the things that you should be compromising, and let me just scare you a little bit. The lack of sleep, as studies show, will literally like increase your risks of hypertension, stroke, heart attack, diabetes, depression, mental illness, hallucinations, obesity. Girl, and you're wondering why you're depressed. Literally just go to sleep. And also not just like sleeping for a million hours a day. Like, no. Setting yourself and giving yourself a nice routine will help you a lot, because your brain is taking the time to basically be your little housemaid slave. It's taking the time to process the information you got throughout the day and also just like release all the toxins that were accumulated. So if you don't take the proper amount of time to do all that stuff, you're not doing yourself any justice. I'm telling you, like, just get some sleep. Like, do you want hypertension? And I know the girlies, you're so stressed about getting wrinkly grape skin when you're 40 years old and you're applying like a ton of sunscreen, but you're not getting enough sleep. What are you doing? I used to be the type of person who was just like, yeah, I slept at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're not cool, okay? I hate the fact that I used to do that, because like, why are you making sleep deprivation a literal competition? You should be getting 7 to 8 hours. Anyone on the higher or lower end of the spectrum like have a higher chance of dying. Go get your sleep. My next tip relates to social media. If you cannot handle social media on your phone, just delete it. Honestly, I have the worst problem when it comes to social media, to the point where the only solution for me is to just get rid of it at the end of the day. There are periods of time where I have to delete it. Just eliminate the distraction completely, so that way it's just not there. I actually did a challenge where I replaced my smartphone for a flip phone for a week. You should go watch the video. I'll link it either up here or up there. Some kind of like smaller tips when it comes to studying. One thing that really helps me is I write things down. I don't know which professor taught me to do this. I forgot who, but they said to write things on like little post-it notes. Obviously, a post-it note isn't that big, so you can't write as much information, or you can't overload it with as much information as you usually do on like a piece of paper. You're taking what's actually really important and just condensing it enough that it fits. Doing this, one, helps you out because it just takes out the unnecessary bluff that you don't need. It helps you to prioritize. It highlights the most important parts. And then my professor taught me to like stick it on the wall. And during finals week last year, I literally did that for all of these post-it notes. So they were like splattered across my wall, not just like on just one wall in your bedroom, but also like maybe next to the mirror in your bathroom, or like next to the coffee maker in the kitchen. You'll see it every day and you'll kind of remember it once you're like taking the exam. I would try that. And then also when you're studying, I would try using something called a Pomodoro timer. I forgot what it's called, but it's something like that. The origin story of that, I think, had to do something with Italian tomato sauce. Not really sure. A Pomodoro timer is where you set a timer for 25 minutes, you study completely for those 25 minutes, and then you take a break. This helps you remain completely focused during the set time frame, but also allowing yourself that little break, so that way if you do have little distractions in your head, you can be like, okay, I'll do it during the break. You're increasing the amount of time you're actually focused for, because you know that there's a break or some time period where you're gonna get to do whatever you want. I have a tendency to be distracted a lot. I'll be studying and then I'll be like, oh shoot, I need to go text my friend back, or I'm hungry, let me just go do this. And then I'll completely stop what I'm doing, and it'll be so hard for me to get back on track. But while I'm on track, if like in my brain I tell myself, okay, I can do it during the break, I'll continue to stay focused and I'll get more done while I do this. And I think that just helps a lot. Well, those are my tips. I think I gave a lot of pretty good ones. Honestly, some of them are kind of generic, but like maybe you need to be reinforced of this, okay? So just go and do it. Comment, like, and share this video if you found it helpful. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm currently at almost 600, which is insane. And I'm also working on being more consistent, which is why I'm uploading every Friday. Was this locket open the whole entire time? I am so sorry. That must have been so annoying. Well, that sucks. I already filmed this video once and I'm not doing it again. I have my little matcha in my American Girl cup. Isn't that such a slay? I'm gonna be honest, like I made this matcha and I was like, oh my god, it tastes so good. Let me try adding a little bit of creamer. And I used my mom's creamer and my mom's creamer tastes absolutely horrible. I am stuck with a horrible matcha. Yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!